Clara had just finished cleaning up the kitchen after lunch on a calm Sunday afternoon and had made the decision to have a lengthy, taking a soothing shower her spouse after a busy week full of back-to-back meetings and unfinished tasks. Clara was looking forward to some quiet time after Joe had left to run some errands and the house appeared to be completely vacant. Clara did not bother to lock the door to the restroom. Since it was her home, she anticipated it would be empty. As she switched on the hot water, the room soon filled with steam. She closed her eyes and allowed the calming warmth of the shower to wash over her, allowing her to finally let go of the burden she had been carrying all week. She was able to breathe freely for the first time in days as the water flowed down her back. Lost in the moment's comfort, Clara was unaware that the entrance door had opened. Her nephew. After a family meal the night before, Ethan had gone back to get his phone, which he had left there. Ethan was always welcome in her house at the age of 19, full of vitality, but on that particular day, he hadn't called in advance. When he departed, Ethan went inside and casually called out, "Aunt Clara," assuming that Joe and Clara would still be out. Uncle Joe, he thought Clara and Joe would still be out. He assumed they weren't home when he didn't hear back and went to the living room. His phone was immediately trapped between the couch cushions. He realized he had left his charger in the guest room upstairs as he turned to go. He jogged upstairs without giving it any thought. Clara continued to hum gently to herself while she was in the shower, and the sound of the water muffled any background chatter. She was unaware that there was another person in the house. Ethan assumed the bathroom was vacant as he went down the hall and opened the door. "Oh my God," he shouted, leaping back, "and Clara, I'm so sorry." The steam reached him instantly, and his stomach fell the second he saw the indistinct image behind the misty glass. "I apologize." Quickly drawing the shower curtain tighter over herself, Clara exclaimed in shock, "Ethan, what are you doing here? I thought no one was home." "I just came to grab my charger, not to say I'm sorry." Ethan turned and ran down the hallway, leaving Clara motionless and her heart racing. At first, she wasn't even sure how to react because the encounter had been so abrupt and shocking. She swiftly changed into a bathrobe after taking a shower and used a towel to dry her hair. As she headed downstairs, her mind was racing. Ethan was sitting on the couch with his hands clasped over his head, visibly scared and humiliated. Slowly approaching him, Clara tried to be careful with her remarks. He looked up when she sat next to him and said, "Ethan," in a quiet but serious voice. "I know it was an accident, I get it, and I'm really sorry, but you have to knock next time." He nodded rapidly. "I know I messed up, I just assumed you guys were still out, even if you thought the house was vacant." "I'm really sorry," he said. Despite the uneasiness, Clara sighed and smiled slightly, saying, "It's okay. To be honest, it was only a second, let's not exaggerate it." "Thank you, I really didn't mean to scare you or anything." "You just caught me off guard," Ethan said with a sigh of relief. "That's it, that's all," she answered. They sat silently for a while. Then Clara got up and offered to order pizza, which had grown to be their favorite comfort meal over the years and seemed like a nice way to decompress. They tried their hardest to laugh away the uneasiness by watching a light-hearted comedy film. When Joe got home in the evening, Ethan promptly told him everything that had happened since he couldn't tolerate the thought of keeping anything from him. Joe was taken aback, but he had faith in Clara and Ethan and believed it had only been a regrettable mishap. "Well," Joe said. In an attempt to lighten the situation, the awkwardness said, "Tas now you'll never forget to knock," while laughing. Ethan chuckled uneasily, relieved that his uncle wasn't upset. After a few days, the episode became one of those tales that nobody discussed but that everyone remembered. It wasn't discussed during family get-togethers, and when Ethan stayed over, he took additional care to knock on every door, even his own bedroom door. Clara also started locking the restroom door because she had learned that sometimes seclusion is just one step away from surprise, not because of fear. For both of them, the entire situation became a lesson in life. For Ethan, it was about setting limits and honoring personal space. For Clara, it was about responding to unforeseen circumstances with dignity and compassion. Their relationship remained unchanged. If anything, it became more powerful. Ethan was impressed by Clara's compassionate handling of the matter, and Clara valued Ethan's candor and regret. A few months later, at a family cookout, someone mentioned humiliating anecdotes. Clara only winked at him playfully as though to reassure him that his secret was safe with her, even as Ethan's face flushed. That day in the shower turned into simply another thread, woven with humility, laughter, and most importantly, forgiveness, in their family's history.